Hello everyone. This is Sameer Ahmed Khan, CEO at Social Champ, and welcome to this episode of Ask Me Anything with Sameer Ahmed Khan. And we are doing a series on, if you can see our series on Facebook group, our team community managers are doing a great job in covering topics, from using Social Champ to effectively manage your social media, to tips and tricks how you can use automation to post on social media. This session is about sharing tips, advices that you guys have. You guys always message me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram that, hey, I have this question. What can we do? I'm a university student. What path should we choose? Just to give you my background, I am right now the co-founder at Social Champ, and Social Champ is our fourth startup. Three did not work out, and we learned a lot of lessons from our three startups that did not work out. By degree, I am a computer science student. I also love technology. I'm also Meta, developer circle lead in Karachi. And other than that, I also try to mentor startups in marketing. Telling them what they should do. So I got a lot of questions about what lessons did you learn. So you can ask questions in comments. So anybody who's watching right now, you can ask questions in the comments. So just whatever question you have in marketing, digital media, social media, startups, just go and type in the chat below, right? Write your questions. I will read them out and I will be sharing that in on the screen, right? So first thing is, a lot of questions I got was that what were the greatest lessons that I actually learned from my previous startups, right? So the first idea that we had was Game Chat. And in that platform, the lesson we learned was that MVP, minimal viable product, that is very important. So as a startup, you need to build your minimal viable product as soon as you can, ship it to the users, get some feedback, and start iterating and improving the product. Lots of people say that, what, we can't, we launch a product. A lot of people have an idea, and so they can't get through that phase of creating a product of that idea. But some people actually do, right? And when you start building for a product, you just keep on fixing the product, fixing the logo, never launching the product, perfecting the product. So when you think there's a very famous quote that says, when you think you're ready to launch the product, um, that's actually when you're too late to launch the product. So you just need to focus on the minimal viable product, the core of the product that actually works, and just forget the noise, the logo, the color design. Just focus on what core problem your product solves, ship it, and your first early adopters, first users, first customers, they will give you the feedback that, hey, what, move this button over there. Hey, what, we need this feature. So that's how you iterate your product. That's how you launch the product. So in our first product, Game of Chat, we did a mistake. We kept iterating the product, never thought it's ready. We kept on mentioning a lot of people that, hey, use the product, what do you think about the product, but we never launched it. Won a lot of competitions, and but so that's the lesson we learned. Launch the product very fast. Took 1 month to decide the name of the product and the logo of the product, right? So first thing first, launch the product, right? That's the first lesson we learned from that startup. Second one was Reminds app, right? So the Reminds app is basically it was a notification based app launched on iOS, Android, and on the web. So one of the lessons we learned on that startup, on that notification based app, was that you got to know the market audience, right? You need to do this survey better. You need to have market validation before even writing the first piece of it, right? Because sometimes people could, you could just launch a survey, people can fill, you can get 80, 90 answers, maybe 60% people want to use your product. But the problem is, some people just say that they would use your product, but they would never use the product. That's the mistake we happen that's the mistake that happened for us. We kind of like launched a survey to ask people that, hey, would you use a product? 60% people said that we would love to use a product. 40 to 50% people said we would love to pay for the product. Now, when we launched the product, you know, nobody was using the product. And then an investor came that said that, hey, if you bring 50%, 500,000 unique downloads every month, I'm going to write you a check. We said that's not a big problem, right? So what we did, we went back, focused on downloads, did that influencer marketing launches that people used to do, the starters, all that party stuff, bringing influencers to talk about the product. We got some downloads, but that was not 5,000, that was 500. So then my head was like, you know what? I told myself that, hey, downloads is a vanity metric. Let's just focus on retention rate, right? That's the best thing you got to know, right? Who notices, downloads? So, we took a, pool of, users from 1 week, saw that the retention was 30%, 20%. Then next day it was 10%. The next day it went 5, 3, and then it was at 1%, and it was consistent at 1%. And I was like, you know what? Snapchat took 3 years to get successful, right? That to get the fame, and this 1%, we got to see this user and write a case study on it, and make the product for him. And we found out that it was our QA person doing testing on the product, right? So nobody was using the product, right? Let's just see if there are questions um, in the comments. And I see a question on LinkedIn that says, how much you spend on building your first MVP? Great question. MVP. It really depends on what your product is, to be honest, right? In this age right now, where technology is very cheap, and you get lots of if you have a SaaS product, software as a service, it's very cheap right now to build a product, right? Have a domain, use AWS free credits, use that, see if your product is working or not. So we didn't spend a lot of money, to be honest, on MVP. But if you count time as money, then we'd spend some time on it. We spent, I think, the first idea, we took 3 years. We spent 3 years on the product. But to be honest, how did this was that we also gave software consulting, as to our customers. So because of that, we could bootstrap. So we used to give services as software consulting to other customers, bootstrapped, saved some money, invested in the product, didn't work out, bootstrapped again. So this is something we did simultaneously, because 5 years, 6 years ago, funding was not that easily accessible, especially in Pakistan. So that's what we did. We tried to bootstrap, and took some time, made sure this XYZ amount of money is going at home so that the kitchen would run. And then we focus on, building MVP on our, on the side. So yeah, it's a very tough, when you're trying to do freelancing or giving, consulting business, it takes some time, because you have to focus. Half of the founders or some of the founders have to focus on free consulting business, and then you got to focus on product, see if it works out or not. So it's something very different, and it's really that you got to focus on in the very start. So to be honest, if you're building an MVP, I think just get a WordPress site up. Don't focus on building on Node.js or something very extensive on technology. Just try to validate your idea. Is your idea worthwhile? Are people accepting it? Are they subscribing it? Are they trying to offer your idea? That's something very important, right? So I think that's something you could focus on when you're trying to build your MVP. If you are saying that you don't have funds to build your MVP, then you're not very desperate, or you're not very passionate about your product, unless you're a hardware. But you have to find a way to do it, right? People who always have complaints or problems that, hey, the economics is not good, we don't have funding, there's no way we could do it. Right now, technology, and I know a lot of programs that offer you free products, so that you could just see if your MVP is working or not, right? So that's something you could try on. And good luck, good luck on building your MVP. It's something you would love to do. Hassan Ayaz, hey Hassan, love to see you here. Walaikum Assalam. Good to see you. What's the next big challenge you're focusing on? Hassan, it's a very good question. The next big challenge, I think everybody's now talking about AI. So I think we'd love to see where it goes. It's not that we always pick the ideas that are in trending, because you could see, I think 2 years ago, it was blockchain. If you go more beyond before that, it was, Facebook live videos was something that was cool, and then Clubhouse came, the audio stuff. Then everybody was thinking to create audio apps, and then blockchain came in, and everybody was thinking to create blockchain solutions. Not saying that it's bad, just saying that we don't always pick the wave. We just pick what we think it relates to social champ, and the social media audience and the digital marketing. So, and the next thing that came was NFTs. The people was adopting and selling NFTs, and then came the time of, I think in simultaneously there was AR and VR thing happening with the metaverse. But AI is something really incredible. We love, the possibility that it could bring on. Everybody in my office, every department is using ChatGPT to some extent to be more efficient in work. So it's something that's really helping us. Apart from that, we're trying to see how AI would actually solve the greater problems. Like, imagine, somebody with a great idea, or maybe a product, and he wants to do some growth marketing, and he has an idea, he wants to form some sort of a code out of it, make he has all the puzzles, and he just need to connect that, right? So you want to see where the AI goes. Just telling AI that, hey, I create a video, explainer video of, of XYZ product. Or maybe, when you teach, as and when you teach, students about coding and maybe Angular, you're trying to say AI that, hey, create a video, use my image samples, and create an explainer video, and tell people how, loops are, if else conditions, explain that in a better way. And then AI does it for you. So it would be very incredible to see where it goes, right? So that's something we are trying to focus. But the challenge we're trying to solve is that how we could make the lives of marketing people, or people who are marketeers, easier, right? And that's where the entire vision of the company is. That, bring tools, bring automation, that help people, better at marketing the product, or be better at social media, right? It could be all platforms: Mastodon, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, all those 9 different platforms, right? So we just wanted to have that one platform that it's easier for them, so that they could just, focus on the product, focus on building great product, and, let some automation do the manual hard work for them. So that's something we are trying to, see these days. But it's really interesting. There's a lot of challenges. People are really scared of AI, chat gpt. It's a very interesting world right now, because a lot of my, in my team, I think there's a joke that content writers, a lot of in my SEO team, designers team, they kind of like joke with my content team that, hey, you know what, the AI is going to take over content writers job. But in fact, it's really making a lot of people productive. It's giving great unique ideas. And when you think about it, right, AI is basically right now, from all the data points it has, it's trying to construct a narrative and, give you feedback. But as long as you have something which is very unique idea, a different opinion, you would actually be better with those additions. But it's really interesting. Ali, let's see. Mohammed Ali Shafi, really feel happy when I see. Oh, thank you so much. UBIT is a department of computer science. It's basically name of a department, computer science, in Karachi University. So yeah, I graduated from Karachi University, and it's been a long time, 2012. So yeah, it's a great time. Love the teachers there. How do you use? So who asked? Hadi Faruqi. How do you use ChatGPT for integration in Social Champ? So, Hadi, we have right now integrated ChatGPT in Social Champ. So, what we do, we have integrated two different APIs. So, one is that you could generate images. So, you could search, you could write a text that create image of sun, in water, right? And it's raining, maybe candies. So, people could just generate images within social champ using this text to image AI suite. And then we also have this text to idea. So basically you can write, hey, you can write content that, hey, generate idea, a Facebook post for or maybe a job role for customer support, and then it will write content and you can post it. So we're trying to find ways where people can be more efficient, get some ideas to create content on social media, because in the end they write content and they create images to be published on social media, right? So what if a tool could actually give you those abilities that you can create content, create images and that. But this is just one part of it. More than that, we just want to also focus on, which is not done yet, is that focus on content that is based on a niche, right? So we have published around 80 million 70 million posts on social media across different social media channels, right? So how could we suggest a user that this is the content you should be posting, which is going very good on on your industry? So that's something we are trying to focus on, how we could fix that issue. But yeah, great question. uh, Facebook question a user is asking. So what should what should be the first thing to learn in digital marketing? So it's a very big question, to be honest. Digital marketing is something which is very, very, very big, right? Uh, it has a lot of things in it. So let me give you an idea, right? There's content writing, right? It's one part of it. There's search engine optimization, SEO. Then there's email marketing, and within email marketing, there's transactional emails, marketing emails, right? And then there's guerrilla marketing. There's community work that you focus on, Reddit, Quora, Hacker News, not just Facebook and social, Twitter, LinkedIn, but there are other platforms also. So that's one part of it. And then there are a lot of ad optimizations that you could do on LinkedIn, Quora, Bing, right? These are the platforms I'm telling that people kind of miss out. They just focus on Facebook and other platforms. So there's a lot of stuff in digital media. The thing is, what are you passionate about? All right, what is, from all the things that I said to you, what is something that you would love to do, right? What is something that you're like, I need to do this. I want to be an expert in product hunt launches. I want to be an expert in in content writing. I want to be an expert in search engine optimization. I want to be an expert in the copy of what is written in emails, right? So it's something that you really have to figure out, that what you're passionate about, what is something that you want to do. But to start, if you're starting up, I think I always recommend people to go on Google Garage. There are free courses out there for digital marketing that will give you a great sense of idea that, hey, this is something that I should be doing, and there's a path over there. So Google Garage, Google it, Google Garage, and you will actually find good courses over there to start your digital marketing journey, right? I hope that helps. And let's see, as Niaz. Yes, absolutely. It would be fun to see what you're ending up using AI in the domain of. Yeah, as and this is really interesting. I'm trying to imagine what we can do, but it's 9 different APIs integrations. They keep changing APIs. Sometimes we have to keep getting changing our APIs, like Twitter. The Twitter. Everybody knows what's happening with Twitter. They're trying to make their APIs paid. It's confusion happening. Nobody knows the right answer. So it's very interesting. And hey, everybody watching, SNAS is, he produces great content. He teaches how to code. Basically, he has written a book. You could buy his book, I think. Esan, if you could just share your link. He has written a book. He's also from the same university for where I studied. Great person, doing great job. And everybody, he's also inspiration to a lot of students. So great stuff. And let's see, Facebook. Sir, any tips or advice for a successful digital marketer? The advice is to be all focusing on performance marketing, to be honest. Focus on numbers, look at the data. Data is the best friend of digital marketer. I've seen a lot of people talk big stuff that, hey, we're going to make your, increase your sales by 200%, but always focus on data. Whenever you're trying to be a digital marketer, see if you can commit, growth in traffic month on month, growth in sales month on month, growth on engagement month on month, right? So numbers should be your number one weapon, right? Data should always be a weapon. If you're just about if you're just about not about numbers and data, you're just talking about stuff that's that's always theory, then you would be in trouble, because finding a good digital marketing person in this ocean of is very tough. Thank you. And let's see, next question. Abdul Rafi Siddiqui. Walaikum Assalam. Always a pleasure listening to you. As a founder, I'm curious to know about your experience with hiring a senior engineer who came with a higher price tag than your normal previous hires. Could you share me the story of the first? Could you share with me a story of, let's see, first time you made a such hire? What prompted you to determine whether you believe it is only worth investment or not? Uh, Great question. I think, Abdul Rafi, I think it really depends what your startup or what your company is in a stage at, right? Sometimes senior people come with great experience that can help you. Sometimes, when we hire people, we don't see if they're senior or not. We do see if they're senior. Basically, it depends what role they're at, right? If they're junior, if they're senior, based on experience, we see that. But something that really matters in whenever you're hiring somebody is that, are they willing to unlearn what they have learned, right? Are they willing to dispose their knowledge and learn something new, and also are they willing to learn something different, right? The attitude of them, right? Are they open to learning? That's something very, very important. Sometimes you find this attitude in the youngest people, in the juniors, right? When you hire somebody, they might come from a big organization, and they'll be like, hey, you guys have like 10, 15 people. I came from a company which has 600 people. I know better, right? And when you tell them the process, that this is what you have to do, they'll come back at you, this is not what you have to do. And it kind of creates a bad environment. So I think, number one thing is, to know what exactly person you want. Sometimes you always need senior, so that you could actually delegate some of your work to them. As a co-founder, you do a lot of stuff. You need to free yourself so that you can focus on more different stuff, right? So you got to hire somebody who's senior, who could actually take some of your tasks, right? You can only do that if you have a senior person, or if you train your junior resources very well, right? So it's a very tricky question, to be honest. It depends person to person what stage you're at. But something that we really look at is the attitude of a person. You could make a person, you can train a person, you can make him great, but if his attitude is not good, it's very tough to change that. So this is the lesson I've learned, in my entire startup journey so far. Sometimes the smartest people, the greatest people, we just said no to them because we found some red flags. So that's why we always sometimes do this personality test before hiring somebody. So we have this kind of like two or three tests that we do. One is the technical test. The project. First, we give the project for them to create something. They create that stuff, give it back to us. Then we do the technical interview in office, because sometimes we have found is that people actually, they give that to someone else to create, and then they come back to the office, right? So we do the technical interview, and the third is something where we do the personality test, which is, it doesn't matter if you're very good in technology, but if you somehow fail in that, we won't hire you. So that's something we really do it. uh, Asan, oh, do you see a lot of tech content creators using social channels, especially the post? Yes, I have seen a lot of, and I have seen a lot of B2B businesses and mid-sized agencies using it to post across all channels. I have seen a lot of, you could say, famous personalities who publish videos very actively. They use the product, for their social media. So I've seen, but it really depends what your, which platform you're targeting at, right? So if you're just targeting on one or two platforms, our free, people use our free plan, because our free plan, you can publish unlimited posts. All features are unlocked, right? And you have three profiles to add, right? So we created this for solopreneurs and people who are just try focusing on one or two social media, because we figured that these people are not our customers, right? Our customers are B2B businesses who have social media managers. They give team access, they approve content, they are on 9 or 8 different social platforms, right? um, and they have to download reports. Everything is on a content calendar. So that's where the customers are. So we see a lot of content creators, the solopreneurs, and most of them are using our free plan. So yeah, you could try it out and see if it helps you. Yeah. We also, I think we're going to bring TikTok in this next week, like direct publishing to TikTok. So that's something we'll be launching soon. And let's see. I'm getting a lot of questions from LinkedIn. That's very interesting. I didn't test this with LinkedIn. I always used to do live videos on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but this is TikTok. This is LinkedIn. Very interesting. All right, Hadi Faruqi, are you guys going to focus on account-based marketing or B2B marketing features for marketers in the future? Um, what is account-based marketing? What is account-based marketing? um, for us, what we're trying to do is that we don't focus on specifics. For example, what we try our how we think is that we have B2B businesses and agencies, right? For them to be successful on social media, they need to create content, right? So that's where we try to create features which helps them to create content, using AI, using royalty free images, using saved libraries, a lot of stuff, right? Once they create content, they need to publish that content on social media, 9 different platforms, and each social media has something special. For example, first comment on LinkedIn and Facebook, or you can automate that. First comment on Instagram, you could automate that. Locations, a lot of stuff, right? So we have this. We also want create features on this distribution channel. So create content, distribute content. Now, once it's done, there's analytical part, right? So we want people, these marketers, to focus on that. Hey, is it working or not? What's the best time to post? Can you download your reports? Can you download white label reports if you want to send to your boss? Right. So that's something we kind of like, we build features around that, right? So we recently launched yourchamp.io. It's something where you want to have all your social, it's like a digital card. Call it like Linktree, but on steroids, right? So basically Linktree, where you can it's like your champ, where you can basically add your social accounts. All your followers and likes would be combined and stored in one place, and then you can add your more links. So this is how we think, to be honest, that what would make a marketer successful: create content, distribute that content. And with distribution, there also comes team management, right? Team roles, right? Libraries. And that's what we are intending right now. But we're open to feedback. We always get a lot of feedback to have uh, you know have features. For example, Engage is something we launched where you could get replies from all different platforms on Social Champ. You can reply to those people from Social Champ, right? So that's something we built based on a lot of feedback we got. So yeah. Hadi, I guess beat Zapier HubSpot. Thank you so much, Hadi. Inshallah. Let's see. Facebook user, sir, your hairs is natural. Yes, it is natural. I got them quite, it's since university. Asen knows it well, I think. Yeah. All right. Am I missing? Uh, all right. Great questions, guys. Let me see if Facebook has a lot of questions out there. All right. So this is our could say startup journey. The second startup was educating dreams. And okay, let's take one more question before I jump into the story. Faria Akhtar, hey Faria, good to see you. What has been your biggest struggle running and growing a startup? When has there never been, when is the time where you don't have a struggle or challenge? I think a lot of people say in the startup industry is that if you're calm and if you're peaceful, you just don't know there's a storm coming. You're not aware of it. Right? That's what happens. Startup industry, one of the biggest hurdle that we had in the very start in the very start was payment options. How would you take money from customers being a global product? And that is exactly when Stripe helped us, right? So Stripe is something that really helped us. And Stripe Atlas program, we as a Pakistani, we got a Delaware C Corp company, registered in Delaware, got a bank account, and started collecting payments from Stripe. That was something, one of the challenges we had at the start. But then, as we started growing, getting your first one customer is tough. But then, getting first 10 customers is tough, and then 50 customers is more tough than 100, right? I think it's, to be honest, it's about you know like, getting a lot of feedback, a lot of customer requests, and then putting it down on a board and thinking, hey, what is something that you got to do first? What is that you want to do, right? In social champ, when you're trying to focus on social media marketing tool, you get tons of messages, tons of ideas. Hey, can we do live videos? Hey, can we, I don't know, create a bot, for it? It's that streaming down and knowing who your target audience is, who is your customer, right? And just focus on making that person happy. That was the toughest thing, because when we started, we thought influencers are our customer, right? But then we realized, that influencers are not the customers, because most influencers are influencers on just one or two platforms. They're not, influencers on nine different platforms, right? They're Instagram influencers. They could be in Facebook. They're just focusing on one or two different platforms. So they wouldn't use Social Champ. They would use, their native publisher, right? So, but B2B was the customer. So I think it's an ongoing challenge. And then the next phase was that, about when you're starting as a startup, you're focusing on B2C with its small ticket size, like $10 plan. But then you keep on adding features, then you start focusing on B2B. You add more features, then it becomes mid agencies. You add more features, it kind of like targets to enterprise, right? So it's about the speed that you have to go. Are you breaking stuff or not? I think marketing is one of the greatest challenges, and it's going very good. But again, you should never be comfortable with what's happening. You should always see how you can grow faster. I think that's something we're focusing on. So, in startup, there's a lot of challenges, especially APIs with third parties like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They're procedures, the NDAs you have to sign to get their API. That's very sensitive. They do your technical audit every year. So Facebook, after Cambridge Analytica, they do your tech audit every year, and they ask really tough questions. They audit your technology, the security, and a lot of stuff, right? So that's what it is. Like this is the life we chose, right? So and there are no complaints, but it's always challenging, and it's fun when you unsolve a challenge, step onto it, but then you find a bigger challenge, right? uh, but this is what I say, like startup is like a, you could say it's like a roller coaster ride, but with as more forward you go, the ups and downs become more higher and lower, right? So because when you're starting, you're happy, then you're sad, but when you go further, you're more happy, and then suddenly you're super sad because something broke off, right? And you're getting churned. But it's like that, right? But yeah, it was really interesting uh, question, yeah. And let's see. Question by Tala Salim. Good day, thank you. Just wanted to ask, how do you take care of data privacy in Social Champ? Data privacy in Social Champ is number one's Facebook, you could say, audit. That's something they really focus on. And data privacy is something that is, we have multiple layers of security, 2FA, but encrypted data. We don't save very sensitive data unless we have to use it to post publish on social media, stored in a different database. Backups are there, security is there, and a lot of RSA encryptions is there. So it's we do a lot to make it secure. So that's why we get a lot of questions that, hey, is your product safe to use? But then we tell them, look, nine different social media big giants have given their sensitive APIs, which is very tough to get right now, like Pinterest API, right? And we recently got TikTok. We'll be publishing that in a week, right? They audit your platform, they see it, the security, and then only they give that data, right? So it's something that that's something we really take care of, right? It's tough, to be honest, because at a startup you just want to build features, you just want to start marketing, right? You don't want to think about security. Trust me, that is something we really have to focus on, because and we are lucky that these big giants ensure that you are actually the data is secure, because there are a lot of attacks that happen, and we see that, oh, this attack got blocked. Glad we had this API, this infrastructure in place. But yeah, all right. Okay, if someone as a digital marketer, what do you suggest him? He can BB or CS, because I complete intermediate, so now I want to take admission at university. I think degree does not, it really depends what your. So it's a very tough question, to be honest. The question is, if you want to pursue digital marketing as your role, would you do computer science or would you do BBA, right? Both of the degrees have pros and cons, right? I would choose computer science because I could be biased, but you don't need a degree to be a good digital marketing person, to be honest, right? What you need to be a good digital marketing person is the knowledge, the skill set, the experience. What have you done? In my office, a lot of my team members are from mechanical. They have a mechanical degree. Some of them even don't have a degree. Some of them even didn't. My SEO team lead, he didn't even have university education. He didn't even do intermediate. He just have metric education, right? And he's the leads. SEO, he runs paid ads. He's the person who changed our dynamics of SEO. So a lot of them a lot of people in our company, they have different degree. So degrees don't make you, they don't tie or they don't lock you on a certain aspect of it, right? So but this does not mean that you just shouldn't take a degree. It really depends what your goals are, right? I somehow got second position in computer science, right? I just got it, right? But I always focused on events, creating apps, and all that stuff. So if you want to pursue digital marketing, you could just start right now. You don't have to wait that, hey, I have to go to university, I have to go to college, degree, and then I can start my this journey of becoming a marketeer. No, you can start right now. Computer science, you can do it because you want to see that, hey, the future. You're very interested in computer science, to create. Focus, you can do it. If you're focused on BBA, just see what is. If you like it, do it. Um, I could be biased, but I like computer science. Yeah, so but you don't have to do compute any of these degrees to be a great digital marketing person. That's my answer to that. All right. That's a big one. Account-based marketing is to target specific company through ads, customize landing pages, email address, text. Gotcha. Like a CRM stuff. Yeah, we have some component of that, like Engage. I told you there, where all the messages you get on one platform, you can reply to them, and then our future plan is to have emails into it. That if people email you, you could get into that platform, you can reply to it. But that's going on a different niche right now. So we're trying to pause that and focus on bringing TikTok and all these platforms, and then really focusing on that also. But yeah, that's something we are looking into. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Account based. That's something we do. Some part of it we do. Shaquille says, "Great session." Thank you so much, Shaquille. Shaquille is the guy who's leading the SEO team at Social Champ. I want to suggest. I want to learn this. Please suggest. Uh, if you want to learn digital marketing, Google Garage. Okay, go to Google, search Google Garage, and you will be finding a lot of great courses on digital marketing. Go through those. those are much better than a lot of paid marketing courses out there. What's the biggest skill now to learn AI or digital marketing? You know, focus on what you truly love. To be honest, it's your goal should not be dependent on what is trending right now, because if you were, I don't know, if you were like 5 years ago or maybe 6 years ago and you saw a technology called maybe silver light, you would be like, hey, I love silver light. Or maybe not silver light, let's say flash. Do you remember Micromedia, Flash 5 animations, Dreamweaver changed though. But if you remember Flash 5, right? And if you think that, hey, you know what, should I learn Flash 5 or XYZ, and somebody says, hey, you know what, this is the time to learn Flash 5. The times are changing. Great innovation, great technology. But by now, you would be jobless, right? So you got to keep learning and, adopting to the changes. So right now, if AI is something that you love, you got to understand what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, and what type of skill AI is. What is AI? What is machine learning? And do you need a computer science knowledge for that? Should you know how to code? What are the algorithms, diffusion model, right? Generator model, right? So you got to understand all that stuff and what actually you're going into. Just don't pick things that are trending right now, like cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin, right? I want to create my own coin, right? Don't do that stuff unless you know what exactly you're doing. So focus on what is something that's passion. Just look, a simple way to look at it is that every morning, imagine this, every morning you have to wake up at 9 a.m. and do that same thing over and over and again for 5-10 years. Just imagine that, technology changes, I know, in one or maybe in 6 months, but imagine that you're picking something that you're so passionate about that you want to keep doing that for 5, 6, 10 many years, right? If that is something you imagine doing with AI, pick it. If you think digital marketing, pick it. But again, these two are very, very big, broad terms. You have to be very specific that, in this world, I'm going to learn this and then move on, move up the ladder, learn more skills, right? And then you will be called a digital marketer. So that's something you got to do. And good luck. It's a big, big world out there. Don't pressurize yourself that, hey, there's so much to learn. You'll be doing great stuff in future, inshallah. But don't get overwhelmed with the data there is, right? A lot of people do a lot of stuff. Don't focus on that. All right. So let's see what we have. Yeah, I think 43 minutes. This is one of the biggest, longest technology ask me anything session I have done so far, I think. But yeah, so this was my startup, I think, the third startup. Let me just finish the story and just end this. There was third startup was called Reminds app. Gamer Chat was the second one, and then fourth was Social Champ. How Social Champ came into being? Social Champ came into existence by an accident. To be honest, I was working on finding out best marketing solution, how to market my Reminds app, my third startup, better, and then I read on a book by Guy Kawasaki called The Art of Social Media. In that, there was a concept to repeat your tweets multiple times. I said, hey, this is an amazing idea. Let's just see if there are tools out there that repeated tweet multiple times. I searched social media, couldn't find, I looked at other tools out there in the market. No tool repeated a tweet multiple times. So what I did was that I said, I told to my co-founder that, hey, you know what? Let's just create a tool for ourselves out there, and we'll start using it. So what we did on weekends, we started doing that product. My birthday was coming in 2 weeks, so my co-founder Zuhaib, he said that, hey, you know what? I'll give you this. I'll do the back end and give you as a present as a birthday gift on my birthday. So I said, okay. And then, 2 weeks came, and the Soul Champ initial version was there. We didn't buy a domain. We didn't create a logo. The name was Social Champ dot, Heroku app, I think, or maybe Azure, we somewhere there. We didn't buy a domain, started using it. And somehow the people started liking it. They were like, hey, you know what? really great. Uh, we love the product, and that's how I also met Guy Kawasaki, because Guy Kawasaki is a famous influencer, and he worked with Steve Jobs, famous author. He tweeted on Twitter saying that, "Hey, how many people have read my tool out there, read my book?" So I said that, "Hey, you know what? uh, I read your book. I love the idea, and that's what I did. Right? That's what I created a tool, and that's how they started focusing. That's how we made that into a company. And just see questions. Oh, I see there are a lot of questions on my Facebook page, but why are these questions not coming onto this chat? This is so weird. I got a, I got a lot of questions on my Facebook page. Okay, let me just quickly go through that. That is somehow being not picked by Restream.io. So Restream.io is picking my Facebook group's messages, YouTube messages, LinkedIn messages, but not my Facebook page. That's not good. Okay. All right. I'm testing this. This broadcast is going to six different platforms. Three Facebook pages, two groups, one page, one YouTube, one TikTok, sorry, one Twitter, and one LinkedIn. Six different platforms. Going through Restream.io. All right, Facebook user, thank you. So, what the best segment I learned from digital marketing? Well, that is something you got to figure out. It's a big world, big ocean. Jump into it and see what you love. Everything is great in this age. All right, YouTube user. I have heard Silicon Valley Bank of USA can explain it. Oh, Silicon Valley Bank is a bank in the United States, US. For Stripe, we needed a US bank account, so we connected Silicon Valley Bank with the Stripe, and that's how our payment integration is done of Social Champ, right? So it's just a bank, like in Pakistan, you have Mizan Bank, so it's like a bank in US, right? I was Silicon Valley Bank fell. Why was it so? Oh yeah, the bank. Oh yeah, it did fell for for a week, but yeah, it did fell. MDIC, the government of the American government, they interrupted. They took hold of the bank, brought in a new CEO, and now they're back to business. So now a lot of people are putting the cash back in SVP because they want to support them. Because to be honest, SVP was 40 years old bank. They were the people who really helped tech ecosystem. They really helped us helping us in opening a bank account while sitting in Pakistan and operating that stuff. So they've done a great job, but they went down because they have done some mistakes in investment. It's a long story, but they invested an amount of money. They expected a lot of investment to be raised by startups, but that dried up, and the investment yield was getting lower. The interest rate was getting high. So that's how it. But yeah, quickly going to the Facebook chat. I'm looking at the questions from Facebook. Okay, Maria, how are you guys integrating big data into your tool? So big data is something that we are working on. We have again, Miriam is our content social champ. She has a lot of work. Great job leading the team. And again, big data. We have 70 million posts on social. In the 71 million posts that have been published from social champ to social media. So we're trying to understand, what content will be beneficial for specific user in social channel. So that's something we're trying to work on. It's a challenge. We are figuring out ways to do it, but let's see what happens. Irfan Heather, Facebook. Hey, sir. Let me just remove this message from the guy. More messages. I'm just reading directly from Facebook. Irfan Heather, sir, tell me challenges newbies, freshers face when they jump into digital marketing. What is the roadmap they want to take? Irfan, I think the roadmap you will understand when you take some courses on Google Garage. Take those courses. But the number one thing is to have your try to improve your English. That's necessary if you're targeting the US market audience. But you will get a basic idea from Google Garage. There's content writing, SEO, email, ad optimization, whatever you learn, do that, master that, and then jump to the next phase. Okay, just don't touch everything and just be, telling yourself a market. Okay, all right. Hello, how did you come up with this unique idea of social media management? Yumna, great idea. And Yumna again is from Social Champ, good writer. And the idea of Social Champ was again, like I said, it was an idea that came from my app. We are trying to find tools that could market our reminds better. Found that idea in weaker tools, made into a product. Right? Aisha, with AI spreading so fast, what's your verdict? Will it drastically take over current jobs, make the people redundant? How does one feel? Compete with machine? Weakness? How do you advise to keep up? Aisha Fasi is a great designer. All the design work you see on the landing page, your champ, design assets on social media are done by Aisha and her team. Uh, and to be honest, the question is great. Again, AI is something that will really help empower and save time of every department in a company. It will not take jobs unless you're not coming up with unique ideas, with ideas that AI cannot think of. Okay, for now, right? So if you're as long as you're bringing great ideas, working on narrative, AI will always help you reach that potential. Right? It's there to help you do the tedious jobs that take a lot of time, like creating tables, finding keywords, arranging them in a table, writing a meta structure, all that stuff. But the brain, you can use the brain and let AI do that stuff for you, right? Right. Um, Faizan Heather, again from SEO team. What new features on social time can we expect to see in the future? Um, Doug, more features of AI. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. So just be tuned for that. Yes, Alaikum Salam, Neha, community manager, it's our champ. Have there been any challenges or obstacles in developing maintaining your champ? How you do this? Your champ have been the challenges have not been so far great. I think the one challenge that we are facing is that getting the latest numbers of your followers and likes on social media, right? That's a great challenge. So if you go to yourchamp.io/Sameer Ahmed Khan or some piece or maybe Guy Kawasaki, you would see those we sum all the numbers of your likes and followers. That's something we're trying to figure out and see how what would be the easier way to get those numbers. That's one thing, and I think that's something we're focused on right now. And other than that, with YorCham, I think once we have a lot of users using just YorCham, because I think YorCham is newly launched, so we don't know the challenges yet or what we could face. So it's really new right now, so we are looking at the audience and seeing what's happening. All right. So please, how can you earn? It really depends on what you want to do, what you're passionate about. I cannot tell you that, hey, what, do learn ChatGPT and earn a lot of money. That's not something I can do. All right, nice job, Mina. I have started learning foundations of digital marketing, e-commerce. I don't understand how to practice those things to build my profile. Me, I think in order to practice those things, you can build your own website, work on your blog, rank your blogs. If you're writing content, write content, try to rank your blogs. And then when you want to join company or you're trying to pitch to a client, show that work of yours, right? Create a portfolio. I always say, when you're learning something, create a portfolio of it. So if you're learning graphics, create a portfolio, show it to people that, hey, this is what I created, right? This way, you always have an edge on those people who do not have a portfolio. So that's something you got to focus on. Vicky, all right, let's see, go back. All right. All right, there's our CEO बनने के लिए. All right, Noor Ahmed Khan, my youngest brother. CEO बनने के लिए पढ़ना पड़ता है. You gotta study to be a CEO. I don't know. Shakil, how has pandemic impacted your business? Pandemic, it doesn't. So our customers, they kind of like spread out. We have B2B businesses. Those are, we have businesses who were affected by pandemic. Like for example, hotels and restaurants. So they kind of like asked for a discount, and we gave them a leverage that, hey, you can use social chat for free till the pandemic or times gets better. And then there were other customers like a restaurant, like you could say health organizations, NGOs that were dealing with health, government bodies that were responsible for delivering messages, right? Those people started using it more, right? So it was a balance of who's getting affected, because our verticals are not agnostic. We are like, they're not fixed, so we are like, we can just choose to survive in that time. I think we have done a lot of questions, I think, and there are tons of questions more. We can keep doing this as long as you guys keep supporting us. But thank you everybody for watching this live video. Ask me anything session. Again, if you have any questions, you can ask me, DM me, message me. If you have any questions regarding Social Champ, you can always reach out to my team. Go to socialchamp.io, and you could just go to chat. And by the way, one more thing, everybody who's watching right now, everybody who stayed for this long, there's a surprise for you for staying for this long, and that is all of you, not all of you, first five people who scan this code, sign up at Social Champ, will get $29 plan for free for 6 months. This is roughly $200. Thank you for watching. Scan this code right now on the screen. Only first five people who scan this will get social champ account uh, for 6 months. You can use the product and give your feedback. All right, I see somebody scanned it right now. I got a notification. Okay, so only first five people. Okay, first five people who scan this up, sign up at Social Champ, scan this up. Your code will be activated. Use it. All right. So that's something I have for you guys. And other than that, if you want to stay connected, want to have more questions, you can join a community Facebook group called Become a Digital Champ with Sameer Ahmed Khan. Join this group. Over there, they try to reply. They'll reply you. They'll suggest you. They'll answer you. So 3 QR codes have been scanned. Two more remaining. All right. Okay. Let's see. I removed the code though. Okay, there's one more group you can join. This is called Community. That's where all our social champ ID questions, feedback, features are requested. Join this Facebook group and ask questions about social champ. Look into the latest stuff that we are doing. Preview that stuff, right? And join us. All right. Thank you for joining again. QR code, 3 scans, two remaining. You can see it, one more. All right, two more scans. I think five are done. Five people already scanned QR code. So, all right. Great stuff. Again, everybody, thank you so much for watching my video. Ask me any question. 58 minutes. This is being too long. But I hope this was valuable. The feedback given was valuable. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day. Bye bye.